This is Jeff Mucci from RCR Wireless News. We're here in Palo Alto, meeting with Steve Shaw, VP of Marketing for Kineto Networks. Steve, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Jeff. How are you today? Good.
We were talking about the operators today that are trying to offload traffic to their Wi-Fi networks. Can you tell me a little bit about Kineto's solution and how you help the operators manage that user experience?
Sure, Jeff. This is a hot topic in the industry right now. We've all heard about the tremendous amount of data traffic that's going on in the marketplace right now. Smartphones are really becoming web phones where people can access the internet on the go and driving a tremendous amount of data traffic, which is a blessing and a curse. I think mobile operators are very excited about the potential, but the networks are creaking and groaning under the strain. And Kineto's belief is mobile operators need to look to small cells, technologies like Wi-Fi and femtocells, to really offload that traffic where people use it the most, in the home, in the office, places where broadband already exists. And that's the technology that we bring to the market.
Okay. How is your solution different from the communications manager that I have on my AT&T iPhone?
Sure, very common. I mean, certainly AT&T has done a remarkable job of bringing to bear Wi-Fi offload specifically for the iPhone. Mm-hmm. The issue specifically with what they do is a very basic sort of redirect. Any web traffic, shoot it over Wi-Fi. The result is that your phone now has both the cellular radio on to connect for voice services and SMS. Meanwhile, the Wi-Fi radio is on to get YouTube traffic and Skype. Mm-hmm. The result for AT&T is, as a consumer, you might get fantastic coverage from Wi-Fi, 5 bars of coverage from Wi-Fi. And now your Skype works fantastic, and you can download YouTube videos at blazing fast speeds, and yet you're struggling to get your voice services through. So AT&T's primary revenue-generating service, voice and SMS, is left struggling to get service from the macro network. What we do is redirect all the services onto Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. Now you get 5 bars of coverage for your voice services, for your SMS, as well as for all of that internet traffic. Mm-hmm. And we're able to actually power down the cellular radio. So we actually overcome what we call the Wi-Fi battery tax that comes from having both radios running simultaneously.
Stephen, I know you brought one of your applications with you. Could you take a minute and just show us how that application works on a phone?
Certainly. Actually, this is a great example of what we've got here. Maybe I'll try to hold it steady there. So you can see here that, in fact, the Wi-Fi radio is on and running. You've got the little Wi-Fi icon running right here. And you can actually see the icon for our application, which is running over here. And what is occurring is that the phone has now has the Wi-Fi radio powered on, and through our application, we've actually redirected all the cellular services over Wi-Fi. For a subscriber, I can use my dial pad like I always do. I've got access to my same call logs, my same contacts. Nothing for me as a user has changed, but when I go to make a phone call, instead of using the outdoor cellular network, it's actually going to route over Wi-Fi.
Now, you're based here in San Jose, is that right?
True, yes.
Tell me a bit about the history of Kineto.
Kineto's been a technology pioneer and innovator for quite some time now. Company is still venture-backed, privately held. Started back in 2001, mm-hmm. Really had a big run. Our focus is helping mobile operators use the internet, use IP network to lower costs and to improve coverage, improve service delivery. And to do that, we've really invested in making 3GPP standards come to life in terms of the 3GPP GAN specification for mm-hmm. Wi-Fi, femtocell standards, and we're also involved in the next generation with voice over LTE and using the IP networks there.
Okay, and how many employees do you have currently?
We're still pretty small, under 100 employees. Like to keep it tight there, Things are, we could always sell a little bit more, but things are going pretty well for us.
Okay. Who are your customers today?
Big customers specifically on this smart Wi-Fi offload, T-Mobile here in the U.S., Orange has always been a big supporter of Wi-Fi technology, so Orange there in France and also in the UK. But really now with this smart Wi-Fi approach and this new smart Wi-Fi client, we're addressing a tremendous number of new opportunities out there. I think operators are really looking at, have really turned the corner on Wi-Fi, whereas a couple years ago Wi-Fi was still viewed as a threat technology. Mm-hmm. It's become clear that this is a lifeline for them, specifically when it comes to offload.
Okay. A lot has been said about femtocell adoption over the next 12 months. As you look at the global landscape, which geographic regions do you think are going to deploy femtocells sooner versus later?
Well, femtocells are a key part of Kineto's strategy. We believe that it's going to take a combination of Wi-Fi and femtocells to move forward. Kineto does have a couple of commercial femtocell deployments. We announced SFR in France. We announced our partner NEC announced Network Norway just at the Mobile World Congress show last week. From a regional perspective, I think the U.S. continues to lead in the femtocell space. You've got commercial deployments with Sprint, Verizon, AT&T has been in trials now. So you've got 3 of the 4 majors all playing in that space. And continues to be take a leadership role there. And I think the next place you'll see it is probably in Europe, where it's starting to get some traction with Vodafone's launch.
You describe Kineto as a mobile services over IP company. Is it an application company and a hardware company, or more one versus the other?
Kineto is a software company. We're a software innovation company. So we see our value in delivering or bringing the 3GPP standards to life that support the Wi-Fi, the femtocell, voice over LTE technologies. We do work both on the infrastructure sides. We make software for the infrastructure products. We also deliver a client that runs on the handset or the device itself.
Okay. Do the users have to download the client, or are the phones from the operator shipped with the client?
Well, we're working that out right now with the operators. We're moving into this next phase. We made the announcement back in January about the product, and I think we'll see commercial here in the second quarter. In the early days, we expect that the client will be preloaded on the phone, that there's such a benefit to the operator in getting this traffic offloaded that it'll be preloaded on the handset. But the vision is that this could be something that's available through your app store or through the Android marketplace and could be downloaded by anybody at any time.
Okay, and describe succinctly the real value proposition to the carrier for deploying your technology.
Fundamentally, it comes down to coverage and capacity. So coverage is really a churn reduction play. How do I lower my disgruntled subscribers from leaving the company? So by giving them this application now, these subscribers can get 5 bars of coverage from the Wi-Fi that they already have at the home in the office. In terms of the coverage issue or the capacity issue, how can I take advantage of really getting that smartphone completely off my network and onto the Wi-Fi network, thus freeing up the outdoor macro network for people who are in their cars or actually in a mobile situation? We can take all of that traffic and redirect it over Wi-Fi or a femtocell onto the fixed network itself.
So in many ways, it reduces their CapEx deployment because they offload traffic and don't have to spend as much on capacity.
Exactly.
But it also lowers their operating expenses.
To some extent, yes, absolutely.
As we wrap up, Stephen, what else should people know about Kineto?
It's a good question. Kineto continues to be an innovator, a leader. Our technology is primarily geared towards mobile operators. So I think there's, sometimes people think we're trying to create VoIP services or VoIP solutions that are contra to the mobile industry. And our entire focus is really helping the mobile operator take advantage of this enormous broadband network that's out there and really bring to bear the cost and performance advantages of IP.
Great. Stephen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Jeff.